and welcome to I Reckon I'll Read It, the podcast where two Okie gals talk books, share recs, and don't hold back on their mighty big opinions. I'm Beccah.
And I'm Summer. We're so glad you're here. Go ahead and grab some sweet tea, get cozy, and get ready for some good old-fashioned book talk.
We've got a whole heap of books to talk about, and we reckon you're going to want to stick around. Since it's our very first podcast, we thought we'd take a minute to introduce ourselves, let you guys know who we are, how we know each other, and how this whole podcast got started.
Yes. So we've been friends for a little while. I think 2 years at least.
At least known of each other.
Yes.
Like social friends.
The very first time I met you, Beccah, I don't know if you remember this, was at a Galentine's party. And we talked books the very first time we met.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure we talked books almost the whole time.
We did. We definitely
with
separated.
Concern of nobody else in the room.
Isolated ourselves and talked exclusively about books for probably 30, 45 minutes.
100%, yeah.
And that was the night that I fell a little bit in love with you.
Same.
Because I was like, oh, she's a reader.
I remember going home and telling my husband, okay, I met this girl. And I would make sure I wanted to be at events that I knew you were going to because I wanted to talk to you more.
Oh my gosh, Beccah.
It was our book cute.
Yes, we had a book meet cute.
We did.
At a Galentine's party.
It's like when you find your book person that you instantly click with. And that happened pretty organically for us.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't even know if I don't remember how it happened in conversation. If a mutual friend was like, oh, she's a reader. Or if we just knew, if it just came up organically. I don't either. But I know, distinctly remember our conversation and just thinking that you were so cool.
Well, I had remember thinking that I was completely outread because you had already read so many books for the year.
Yeah, that's right.
You were on this book high. And I was like, wow. I thought I was
For a couple years there, I really got going in January and February with the Metropolitan Library's winter reading challenge. And that was one of those years.
I just remember being dang. I thought I had read a lot. So I was kind of in love and then also kind of jealous.
Yeah, we were just kindred spirits.
We were. And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Here we are.
Here we are.
So yes, we really got close, bonding over books. And at some point we realized we have these long conversations that bring me so much bookish joy. And why not record them? And put them out into the world so that everyone can follow our crazy tangents and unhinged thought processes about books too.
That's literally the origin of this podcast. It was nothing special. It was why aren't we recording these conversations? Because they're completely unhinged and amazing.
Yeah, we're laughing. We're having really good actual literary analysis of the books that we're reading. Yes, I remember you turned to me and you said, Summer, should we record a podcast? And I was instantly yes, we should.
Yeah, there was no hesitation.
No, which again, I feel like you and I are big idea people, but maybe not follow through people.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
So the fact that we had that idea and we implemented, we're going to do this, I think it speaks to our love of books.
And within a week.
That so much of our hearts are in the book community, in the book world.
And that's something that I know that both of us want to be even more a part of. So I think it's our way to be let's delve in even more. And so I'm so excited to be I feel we've already been a part of Oklahoma City's book community. We're getting involved, but this is cool to be part of the podcast community.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to take a while for us to get our feet wet or whatever, but
sure. I have so much love and appreciation for the book community as a whole, especially the book podcast community. I'm a big consumer of book podcasts and have found a lot of community with the listeners of different podcasts. So it's really exciting to think that you and I could also kind of dip our toes in that water.
Yeah. They might think we're cool.
Maybe we'll find people that read like us and we can talk more books.
Because we're very unique readers, which we'll probably get into that a little bit more, but we read all genres and can go all in on all of them. So it's pretty interesting. We're not stuck in one lane. Not that I'm saying other people are, but a lot of people have like one or two genres they really like. Yeah. And you guys will learn really quickly that Summer is the most random book reader. I never know what to expect that she's going to.
We will see. I do think there's going to be a recurring bit on this podcast where I say, you know what I really love?
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll mention some random obscure thing.
And I'm going to be shocked every time, even when I should know it's coming. And I'm going to be like, I did not see it coming, ever.
I just have a lot of enthusiasm, okay?
You too. And she reads the most random things. So.
No book shaming.
No book shaming. I mean, I love it. I actually just started a podcast so you could tell the whole world.
Yep. Let's do it.
So in each of our episodes, that's basically what we're going to do. We're going to talk about what we have just read, like what we just finished, what we're currently reading, and then what's up next, like in our TBR.
Along the way, we'll share recommendations, dive into trending titles and book topics, highlight some of our favorite indie bookstores, especially here in the Oklahoma community, and go on the occasional tangent because that is how our brains work.
As you can already pick up on, this isn't supposed to be super formal. Like, it's just going to be us having a conversation. We're not fancy. We both have really interesting backgrounds on like what we do, though. I'm actually an English professor, and I teach literature, and I can go that direction really easily. And like sometimes I probably will, like if I'm like, oh my gosh, there was like this theme or whatever. But then I can also be completely unhinged and no one would ever guess that I like taught English because I'll be like, oh, the one bed trope, you know? So I'm like kind of all over the place there. And then Summer.
I am a speech pathologist by trade. So that is very languagey, but more like communication development and use, but have always been a lifelong reader, especially reconnecting with reading post-graduation several years ago. I got tired of reading textbooks and wanted to read fiction again. and yeah, I started out college as an English major because I thought I wanted to be a writer. And, you know, maybe someday still. Wanted to be a writer.
This is the first step.
This is the first step, getting our toes in the community. But I love language. I love helping people. That's how speech pathology happened. I'm so excited to be dipping more into like the book and literary world and exploring that part of like my passion with you. And I love talking books with you. There's so many times that I'm like, I want to talk about this with Beccah because she's going to really want to dive into this like literary thing. And we can just nerd out about it together.
Yeah, I'm so excited. She'll also be like our, anytime there's any fantasy name that I will not be able to pronounce because I might be an English professor who has degrees in English, but I'm also an Okie and a hick at heart. And so I'm going to be like, and Summer will actually translate.
Should we define the term Okie?
Maybe, yeah, because we're probably going to use it a lot.
Yeah.
So we're from Oklahoma. We both reside currently in Oklahoma City. So I'm from like really rural Oklahoma, which I think that you'll pick up on.
It'll come out.
Yeah, it'll come out for sure. You're always from Oklahoma City, though.
Always from the metro area.
Yeah.
Born and raised Oklahoman. My mom is from Texas.
Okay.
And my grandfather would always give her crap for marrying one of those Okies. Which was the first time I'd ever heard the term Okie. Also the first time I heard that like idiot is what it means.
Yeah.
And Okie. So we may not be IDOTs, but we are Okies.
We are Okies. We are not IDOTs. I mean, maybe sometimes. But
I mean, also.
Not for those reasons.
Both and.
Yeah, so Okie just means you're from Oklahoma.
Okay, enough about us.
Yes.
Let's jump in. Let's saddle up. Here.
There will be so many.
So many puns.
So many puns.
Let's get on our horses and ride, Beccah. Let's talk books.
Oh, let's do it. It's time for the best part of the show, the reading roundup. What have we been reading? What are we about to read? Etc., etc.
This is where we each share what we just finished, something that we're currently reading, and then what's up next on the old TBR pile. And let's be honest, sometimes we finish a whole stack, sometimes we don't.
And that is the beauty of this podcast. There is zero judgment because some weeks we can fly through like literally 5 books, and other weeks we're just going to reread the same page 5 times. So that's life. You'll also probably pick up on the podcast very quickly. I have 3 children. Summer has 3 children, 2 cats and a dog.
3 non-human children.
And that's life. I mean, some weeks we have it and some weeks we don't. We're both about to start back to school, so.
Yep, the semester is coming.
Yep. So, all right. So, Summer, let's start with, what did you just finish?
Okay, so I'm actually really excited to talk to you about this book.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's, okay, I'm just going to talk about it. Margo's Got Money Troubles.
I have not.
You've not heard of this?
I don't think so.
Okay, I felt like this book was everywhere last year. It was published in 2024.
But see, I hear about books like this from you.
Oh, yeah, that's
so
true.
if it was last year, that would have been like the beginning of our love affair.
Yeah.
So.
I guess I saw this on a lot of like end of year best lists. Like I saw a lot of people say that they really enjoyed it. When it first came out, I don't think it really caught my attention very much until I saw a lot of people in the bookish sphere saying that they enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And it was interesting. Okay, so this is Margo's Got Money Troubles by Rufi Thorpe. I listened to the audiobook of this, which the audiobook narrator is Elle Fanning.
Oh, okay.
Because they're adapting it into an Apple TV Plus series.
Oh.
And Elle Fanning is going to star in the series, along with Nicole Kidman, Michelle Pfeiffer, Nick Offerman. And I believe...
love Nick Offerman with all my heart.
Those are a lot of really good actors. Yeah. Having finished the book, I'm really excited for this adaptation. It is expected in 2026, is what the internet told me. But let me give you the setup. So this is a contemporary fiction novel. Can you picture Elle Fanning in your mind? Mm-hmm. Okay, picture her as the main character in the setup. This is the setup according to Goodreads. As the child of a Hooters waitress... I'm going to start that again.
I'm already in, though. I'm already hooked.
As the child of a Hooters waitress and an ex-pro wrestler, Margo Millet's always known she'd have to make it on her own. So she enrolls at her local junior college, even though she can't imagine how she'll ever make a living. She's still figuring things out and never planned to have an affair with her English professor.
Oh.
And while the affair is brief, it isn't brief enough to keep her from getting pregnant.
Oh.
Despite everyone's advice, she decides to keep the baby, mostly out of naivete and a yearning for something bigger. Now, at 20, Margo is alone with an infant, unemployed, and on the verge of eviction. She needs cash fast. And when her estranged father, Jinx, this is the ex-pro wrestler, he shows up on her doorstep and asks to move in with her, she agrees in exchange for help with childcare. Then Margo begins to form a plan. She'll start an OnlyFans.
Gosh.
As an
just kind of keeps getting crazier and crazier as you're reading this. Okay.
Yeah. As an experiment. And soon she finds herself adapting some of her dad's advice from the world of wrestling. Like how to craft a compelling character and make your audience fall in love with you. Before she knows it, she's turned it into a runaway success. Could this be the answer to all of Margo's problems? Or does internet fame come with too high a price?
It's an OnlyFans account. It's going to come at a high... Okay, go on.
There's more on here. I wanted to say a young heroine who's struggling to wrest money and power from a world that has little interest in giving it to her. So this book was so interesting.
I mean, it sounds like a wild ride.
And it is not for everyone. It is not for everyone. And I feel like a lot of the people that I've seen talk about it either love it or hate it.
Okay.
And I can totally understand why some people would not like it. Mm-hmm. So this is a young protagonist. She's like 19, 20, has a baby. She's very like, it's kind of a coming of age in that she's coming into her own, but she has all of these real world problems. Like she has a baby and she doesn't have any childcare to go to work to be able to pay for childcare.
Yeah.
And so it's like all of the things stacked against her. And like, it's so interesting watching her journey and being in her mind. Like the narrative voice is so interesting in this book, especially because it plays with first person and third person POV.
Okay.
So it's a first person book, but and it kind of like breaks the fourth wall a couple times where she's like telling her story, and she even explains like, sometimes I have a hard time talking about like telling my story. So it'll shift to third person POV and say, Margo went and did this and this and this. So it goes back and forth. And I think that's the part that you would really enjoy.
I was gonna say, that sounds really intriguing to
I
me.
loved that. That was one of my favorite things.
Anything weird like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to pull me in.
Yeah.
Because it's different.
Yes. And it is such an interesting book because like she's a smart girl, but it's very real of like the real life things that happen to someone when they've got all the odds stacked against them. And like she wants to be a good mother.
The desperation of like what's going to make you start an OnlyFans account.
Yes.
Which, listen, I don't have one. Okay. But I have so many people in my life who have been like, should I sell feet pics? Like all the time.
Yeah.
And there's always these questions of like, oh, like, should you not? Like, what's like the moral, like what's the line there? And it's interesting to have that in a book.
The book wrestles with that a lot too.
Wrestles. Her dad's a wrestler.
That was a good one. Thanks. That was a good one. It has a lot of things.
Oh,
and Margo herself wrestles with a lot of things. Like, what does she think about religion? What does she think about the like ethics of having an OnlyFans while being a young mother? What does she think about all these things? There's some stuff about.
Is it a spoiler to tell us what kind of OnlyFans account it is?
I don't think so. Okay, it's really fun. Okay. So
if you don't want to know,
she crafts a whole persona.
Ooh.
So, oh my gosh.
Like a wrestler.
Yes. So she crafts a whole persona. The man that she had an affair with, her English professor, he like wrote bad poetry and at one point said something was like a hungry ghost or something like that. And so she names her OnlyFans account Hungry Ghost. And she creates this whole persona.
There could be a lot of innuendo. Okay, sorry.
I mean, this book is so interesting from like a English literary perspective.
I'm actually going to put it on my Goodreads right now.
Okay. But she creates this whole persona almost like an alien.
Oh.
And it is so interesting. I won't go more into like what the OnlyFans is like, but there are a couple moments in this book where it's like, for sure, some people are not going to like it, but the way she thinks about the world is so interesting. And I really enjoyed being in her head and seeing the way she like either didn't or did try to resolve conflict. And yeah, it was just kind of like all these things like pro wrestling and then the baby and the affair and then the OnlyFans and then aliens.
I'm here for it, though, to be honest.
It was so interesting. I really liked it. I would be curious. Would you read this book?
Yes.
You reckon you'd read it?
I reckon I would read it. 100%, actually. I have a weird, first of all, like love for wrestling. Okay. This is a weird like piece about Beccah that a lot of people probably don't know. I don't actually care about the world of like wrestling, like the WWE, right? So it is the WWE. Okay, see, that's embarrassing.
I mean, I think so,
but
I think it's that. Not that I think it's embarrassing.
Sure, you think it's both, but it's okay. But growing up, my dad watched it like all the time, and so like it's like a part of my childhood, strangely, that like connects me to my dad. And so anytime there's things about like wrestling or anything like that, like it's like really nostalgic for me.
Yeah.
So like I'm definitely going to be like imagining my dad as this dad, which is going to be interesting. But I actually think, well, first of all, I'm assuming it's Nick Offerman who's going to play the dad.
I'm assuming so too.
And my dad kind of has Nick Offerman vibes.
No, okay, Beccah, this book was like created in a lab for you.
Yeah, because I mean, like I had a baby at 9. I didn't. But it's like, and I have an OnlyFans account.
And I'm really into aliens.
But I do love Ghost. I love spooky season.
Okay, well, I think you should read it and then tell me all your thoughts on it.
Okay, I'm really in. Okay. So, what I've been reading.
Yeah, tell me about it.
The complete opposite.
Oh, okay.
So, what I just finished was a historical fiction.
Okay.
Which I love historical fiction, but I don't read it often.
Yeah.
I have to really be in the mood for historical fiction, but I do enjoy it when I read it. So, I read The Personal Librarian.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of that one or not.
I think you might have mentioned.
You probably
would
recognize the cover. Do you recognize the cover? Kind of.
Okay. I don't know if this is a hot take or if this is a commonly held opinion, but I think a lot of historical fiction covers just look similar.
You're like, it's a woman on a staircase holding some books.
Yes. So, I mean, I probably have seen it. It doesn't stick out to me.
Fair. Okay, so I had seen the blurb for this book, like a couple, when did it come out? Let's see. It came out in 2022. So I had seen it for like a couple years or whatever. And then someone bought it for me for Christmas and they kept asking me like, oh, have you read it yet? And so I was like, crap, I've like gotta read this book. So I didn't have to be like, yeah, I read it. I loved it. So in her 20s, Bella DaCosta Green is hired by J.P. Morgan. That probably sounds familiar to some.
That's a real person.
Mm-hmm. And so is she. Both of them were. Okay. To curate a collection of rare manuscripts, books, and artwork for his newly built Pierpont Morgan Library. Guys, bear with me. Oklahoma's going to be coming out here. Belle becomes a fixture in New York City society and one of the most powerful people in the art and book world, known for her impeccable taste and shrewd negotiating for critical works as she helps create a world-class collection. But Belle has a secret. One she must protect at all cost. Any guesses what it is?
She has a child.
Oh, no, but good guess. She was born not Bella DaCosta Green, or Belle DaCosta Green, sorry, but Belle Marion Greener. She is the daughter of Richard Greener, the first black graduate of Harvard and a well-known advocate for equality. Belle's complexion isn't dark because of her alleged Portuguese heritage that lets her pass as white. Her complexion is dark because she's African American. The personal librarian tells a story of an extraordinary woman famous for her intellect, style, and wit, and shares the lengths she must go to for the protection of her family and her legacy to preserve her carefully crafted white identity in the racist world in which she lives.
Whoa.
So, going into it, I did not even read the blurb. Like, I think I saw, like, oh, she curates a library. Cool. Like, I'm going to read it. Mm-hmm. I do that to a lot of books, by the way. I'll just be like...
Just go in blind?
I just go in blind. And then about 4 chapters in, I'm like, wait, what am I reading? And then I'll go back and read the book. It kept, like, talking about J.P. Morgan. And I'm like, wait, are we talking about, like, the real J.P. Morgan? Which I also knew, like, 0 things about.
He's like an oil baron?
Financial guy. Okay. Like a banker. He's big money.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the main reasons that we didn't have, like, the huge, like, financial crash in the 20s. Okay. Like, he is who gets, like, credit for that. But, again... And guys, fact check me after this. But he
we'll
also
make corrections.
We'll like make notes at the bottom. But he also had like some shady doings too. Like he like had like affairs that were pretty known, things like that. So he's just kind of like one of those people. Mm-hmm. But he hires her to like basically get her hands on all these like really hard to get manuscripts. But she basically goes to like book auctions and things like that, but because she works from him, she already kind of has this like established clout, and so she becomes like super well known and she can like hold her own. But there's also this whole tension of her like secret identity, but then there's also this background. So you have like that, like her everyday life, like okay, people can't find out, but then you also have how like the complex nature of this decision for her to pose as white,
like the identity.
And it was like a decision like her mom like made for her and her siblings, because like her husband, like they get divorced, because these are all real people. That's also what's crazy about this. This is all real. It all really happened. Mom and dad get divorced because he's like a huge like advocate for like African American rights, and the mom wants to pass as white. And so there's like a lot of that. So they like get divorced, like all the things. Some of that is probably fabricated in the story because they don't know a lot.
Sure.
So that's like the fiction part of it. But it's super interesting how they're treated by like the Black community, people who do know. It's super, I think you would love it. But it definitely reads kind of dry, if I'm being honest. Like it was a little hard to get through, but it may have been hard to get through because I just had no context either. And I wasn't sure if she was real or not. Because again, I did no like research going in. And I did find out that she is real.
I would read that.
You think so?
I would.
I think you would. I think you would love like the book world.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I do enjoy books that are like bookish, books about books.
Yeah. Okay. To move on. What are you currently reading?
Okay. What I am currently reading is another left turn. Beccah, you know what I love?
Actually, I have no idea.
You know, sometimes I really love a Nordic noir.
I'm telling you guys, Margo all the way over here, Nordic noir all the way over here.
Yes. So funny enough, there is a connection point between these two in that this book that I'm about to talk about is also getting a series adaptation.
I was really hoping there was a wrestler.
There's an OnlyFans. No. Okay. So this book is called The Keeper of Lost Causes by Jussi Adler-Olsen. I hope that is the correct pronunciation of his name. It was originally published in Danish.
Okay.
In
Checks
2007, set in Denmark, originally published in English in 2011. So this is the first in a series that is called Department Q. And so there's a new Netflix series that just came out called Department Q.
Okay.
Where they like adapt the storyline, but rather than having it set in Denmark, it's set in the UK with that really attractive man.
Oh, that narrows it
That
down.
one. Matthew Good.
McConaughey?
No, not Matthew McConaughey. That would be interesting accent work, though. Yeah. Matthew Good, he's the guy that plays the lead in Leap Year.
He is a really good-looking guy.
Yeah.
And he plays the friend in the Guernsey
Literary Potato Peel Society.
Yes. Just get some potatoes and societies in there. But yeah.
I love that book, too. That's a great one.
Too.
So, The Keeper of Lost Causes. It is a mystery, crime, kind of detective procedural. Goodreads did list one of the like tags on there as Nordic noir. And I do like a Nordic noir. I read all of the like not all of, because there's a lot of the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo books back in the day, the Stieg Larssons.
They kind of scared me.
Okay, they are so scary.
Okay,
and
God, I didn't read them.
I don't know.
I don't do scary.
I don't know if this is like something that's like of the genre, but that one specifically had so much graphic violence against women. One of the original titles for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo was Men Who Hate Women. And there was like graphic on-page sexual assault and rape. And like, I read that book when I was in like high school, like young high school, like maybe 14, 15.
How did that shape you as a...
I remember thinking like, wow, this is a lot. I also read it with my dad. We were both reading them at the same time.
You guys were reading books together and I was watching WW. Is it WWF? WWE? What is it?
Both?
Is it? Okay, I'm going to look this up. Keep talking. I'm sorry.
Okay, so this one specifically. I went into this book a little nervous because of all of that graphic violence against women. I think now I'm honestly more sensitive to that than I was then. Okay. But I went in a little guarded.
It is both. Sorry.
It is both?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Look at you.
I can't believe I knew that.
Okay, go on.
Okay. Okay, so The Keeper of Lost Causes. Get to know the detective in charge of Copenhagen's coldest cases in the first electrifying Department Q mystery from New York Times bestselling author. Okay, so Carl is the detective in this series. He used to be one of Denmark's best homicide detectives. Then a hail of bullets destroyed the lives of 2 fellow cops. And Carl, who didn't draw his weapon, blames himself. So a promotion is the last thing he expects. But Department Q is a department of 1, and Carl's only got a stack of cold cases for company. His colleagues snicker, but Carl may have the last laugh because one file keeps nagging at him. A liberal politician vanished 5 years earlier and is presumed dead, but she isn't dead yet. This is called darkly humorous, propulsive, and atmospheric. The Keeper of Lost Causes introduces American readers to the mega best-selling series, fast becoming an international sensation. So I will say, I didn't think this was all that humorous.
Like, how far into it are you? Like, are you like...
I'm almost done.
Okay.
And I'm really liking it. I like the like propulsive but slow detective story.
Okay.
And this book has a trope. It's like a micro trope that I love in any genre where it's like this guy was put, he's such like a hard person to be around because of all this trauma that he's dealt with that he was promoted to this new department because they didn't want to fire him. They put him in this new department and like go solve cold cases. And so it's like almost like an underdog in that he's like, people don't want to be around him. They kind of give him like the short end of the stick. And every now and then there's like a really big moment of like redemption for him or like where he gets the upper hand back. And that like, ooh, it drives me. I'm like, yeah, you go tell your boss. So there's a couple moments in this book with that.
Which if you met Summer in person, like you would not think that that's what like.
Yeah, give it to me. And so it's alternating POV from the detective trying to solve it. and then the woman, the politician that's in captivity, and she's been in captivity for 5 years. So we see like her perspective of what's happening to her as like the date inches up closer and closer to present day. And like the detectives that are trying to find, well, she's presumed dead. They're just trying to solve her murder. So that was interesting.
Okay.
The like alternating POVs of it. So I really hope that the ending pulls it together. So this is a book in translation, originally published in Danish. And so there are definitely some things that I'm like, I don't really get that. Or I don't understand this interaction between these two characters.
Yeah, like maybe it's something cultural or something,
and
or just lost in translation.
It was also written in 2007, and that is a little bit of its time, but I'm wondering like how much of that is cultural because of Denmark, how much of it is like of its time, like how much of it is like this translation that I don't really understand.
Well.
Maybe it is humorous, but I don't understand it because it was translated into English.
I forgot you said I don't think it's very humorous.
Yeah,
that's right.
So that is the keeper of Lost Causes.
Okay, I hate to tell you.
What?
I don't reckon I'll read it.
No.
It doesn't sound like me.
No, it doesn't sound like you. I don't blame you at all.
But I love that you love it. And I think that my husband would be really into that. So
it is a very like dad book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you reading?
What I'm currently reading. I don't think you've read it yet. The new Ali Hazelwood.
I have not.
Okay. Problematic Summer Romance.
Oh, tell me about it.
Not in Love, #2.
Yes.
If there's any Ali fans out there, this is like her only sequel that she's done. Most of her books have all been standalone.
Oh, I guess, yeah.
Except for her Bride.
The sequel coming
sequel
out
is coming
soon.
out. But this is the only other book, I'm pretty sure. We can fact check me, but I'm pretty positive this is the only book that has like this is a #2.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I think there are characters that
There's
like
characters
cameo,
that cross over. Yeah.
Interconnected but standalone.
This one she actually has like it's linked together like in a series title. I guess that makes sense. So Not in Love #2. So I read Not in Love late. Like I didn't read it when it came out. I don't know how I missed that one, which is kind of embarrassing for me because I've read every Ali Hazelwood. And when I saw this was coming out, I was like, what is Not in Love? And then I realized I had missed it, and I don't know how, which is pretty embarrassing. But I read that one, and I loved it, actually. I thought it was like a really good, I don't know, it was like a little bit different than some of her other books.
Very different. Different, like, feel to it.
Very. And so, but I really liked it. I liked both the, like, main characters. But, so when this one came out, I was, like, really excited because I had just read Not in Love. And if you have not read it yet, this is the sister of Eli in Not in Love. Okay, so I'm going to read the blurb, and then we can talk about my thoughts and feelings. Okay. What is wrong meets what feels right in this romance set in Italy by the New York Times bestselling author of Deep End. I love that that's the one they put here.
Maybe it's just the most recent release.
I think so. Maya Kilgore is 23 and still in the process of figuring out her life. Connor Harkness is 38, and Maya cannot stop thinking about him. It's such a cliche, it almost makes her heart implode. Older men and younger women. Successful biotech guy and struggling grad student, brother's best friend, and the girl he never even knew existed. As Connor loves to remind her, the power dynamic is too imbalanced. Any relationship between them would be problematic in too many ways to count, and Maya should just get over him. After all, he has made it clear that he wants her gone from his life. But not everything is as it seems, and cliches sometimes become plot twists. When Maya's brother decides to get married in Taormina, she and Connor end up stuck together in a romantic Sicilian villa for over a week. There, on the beautiful Ionian coast, between ancient ruins, delicious food, and natural caves, Maya realizes that Connor might be hiding something from her. And as the destination wedding begins to erupt out of control, she decides the summer fling might just be what she needs, even if it's a problematic one. Okay? So far, I love it. And I think I'm going to love it. There is definitely like a few things about it that like wear me out a little bit in romance novels. But it's very fun. It feels very different than a lot of other Ali Hazelwood books. So if you've not read it yet, it's one of those that like I think people are still gonna like just eat it up. I think people are gonna love it. But it's way more like, I don't know if I should say lighthearted, but it feels lighter in a way. I don't know why.
Compared to Not in Love?
Yes, for sure. But it's also like set in Italy. So it's like
breezy.
Yeah. And there's not a ton of like sciencey stuff in it, which is different for her. There's still like their backgrounds are still in science. So like they have that, but it's not a plot point, I guess, if that makes sense. Like they're still like STEM people.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't play that much.
It's not part of the plot.
Yeah, but it's because they're like on a vacation.
Yeah.
So if you love Italy, like you're gonna have fun reading it. Like if anything like that, you're gonna love it. It's like a great summer read, honestly. Obviously a lot of people have critiqued the whole like age imbalance thing.
Yeah.
Like,
which is so funny that she titled it Problematic Summer Romance. Because as soon as this book was announced, there was discourse with a capital D about the age gap.
100%. And so, yeah, the age gap has really kind of got people. To be honest, I don't think it feels that weird in the novel.
Yeah.
I think if it was real life, I might be like, oh, it's kind of weird. But, like, I mean, I don't think that means people can't. But I don't know. I didn't get hung up on it that much, I guess.
I have read a lot. Well, I mean, a good amount of age gap romances, especially when I was in my Kindle Unlimited era. And sometimes it does feel icky because that's like the point is to be a little bit of like a taboo, like, oh, he's older than me. Do you think that's the point of this one?
See, that's the thing. I feel like she's old enough where it doesn't feel like icky to me.
Okay.
Like if she was, how old is she? I read
23.
23. But she's like already out of college. Like she's like starting to decide what she wants to do as a career. Like she feels like an adult to me, I guess, if that makes sense. Like I feel like if there was like a weird power dynamic where it felt like this really young girl and like a professor.
Yeah.
Like those, like I'd be like, ooh, okay. Because he's super concerned more about the power dynamic of it than just the age.
Okay, so they like address it.
Yes, a lot. Like that, like the whole time. It's just like, there's such a power imbalance of like everything that like who I am. Like he's super successful. Like he's her brother's best friend. Like he's all these things. And he's like super resistant. And so it's one of those stories. The things that drive me crazy in romances is just like, it's like that for like 92% of the book kind of thing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I still like it. Don't get me wrong. Like I still like it, but I would have liked something to happen a little bit sooner. So like I could see more, like, cause that's about the point I'm at. Like I'm almost finished with it and it's still
conflict.
Yeah, like it's still not been resolved yet.
Well, that's interesting because that's something that doesn't resolve. Like if you have communication difficulty, once you communicate or whatever the miscommunication trope is, but like an age gap, that's not going to change. That's just something that like internally, your internal conflict is going to have to change because your age isn't going to change.
And so like, and maybe that is more real life, that it like for him to be able to like move forward with that, it's just going to take a lot of time, I guess. But I guess the fact that I'm like probably, I might not be 90% of the way done, but I'm like close. And they're still not like.
I will read this book.
I know you will.
I got this book. My hold came in from the library today. Ooh. Which, okay, this can be another discussion later. I purchase Ali Hazelwood books from my local indie on the day they release. Like I go to the bookstore and I buy them when they come out. I have not picked up this book yet since it released. And I think I'm the same way with like Emily Henry sometimes. Like I know I'm going to love it and I'm afraid to have my hopes dashed. So I wait. But I got, audiobooks have really been working for me lately. So I got a hold in for the audiobook through the library, even though I own the physical copy. And that's what came in today. So I'm going to read it.
I think you'll have fun with it. I don't want to say it's like lighthearted. It's not. Like I think it actually deals with some like really interesting like themes and conflict and things like that. But because it's so summery, like you need to do it. Yeah. Before
definitely
we get back to school. Because it's
So Not in Love, the tone of that one was much more dramatic because there was trauma and all these things.
And I think that's maybe why I keep saying like it feels lighthearted, even though it's not lighthearted.
Just because like in comparison to
very, very
number
different.
one in the series. Yeah.
Very different.
Well, I cannot wait. And like Ali Hazelwood started her writing career as a fanfic writer. She wrote so much fanfic and her writing feels like fanfic writing and it's like catnip to me. I don't read a whole bunch of fanfic. I have plans to read a bunch of fanfic. I have them downloaded onto my Kindle. Haven't read them yet. But her writing, it's like made in a factory for me.
Yeah.
I eat it up and I love it every time.
I do too. And they all, at least her first few books, they were all so similar, but like I didn't care. Like I loved every one of them. Like I literally did. I like poured it into a cereal bowl and just like ate them all up. Like I wanted every one of them. I know nothing about science. And I was like, yeah, like I'm a STEM nerd now.
But you like work in academia. I think I loved that about her first few novels because I am a very like academia person. I love it. So it was fun to like be on the college campuses and be in the research labs. And
it is true. Yeah. That might be a draw for me a little bit, even though not the same thing, but I like to be in the libraries.
Yes.
Okay, what's up next? What are you about to read?
Okay, so what's up next on my TBR is another romance. It is Love is a War Song by Danica Nava. Mm-hmm. I know we've talked about this one recently. And she writes, this is her second novel. She writes Indigenous romances. Her first book, called The Truth According to Ember, was set in Oklahoma City. And
it's so cool.
One of the job at the center of the story took place in the First National Building. So like that was really cool to be like, I can picture this. It's in Oklahoma City. Okay, so Love is a War Song is her second novel. And this is the blurb according to Goodreads. A Muskogee pop star and a cowboy who couldn't be more different come together to strike a deal in this new romantic comedy by Danica Nava. Pop singer Avery Fox has become a national joke after posing scantily clad on the cover of Rolling Stone in a feather war bonnet. What was meant to be a statement of her success as a Native American singer has turned her into a social pariah and dubbed her a fake. With threats coming from every direction in her career at a standstill, she escapes to her estranged grandmother Lottie's ranch in Oklahoma. Living on the res is new to Avery. Not only does she have to work in the blazing summer heat to earn her keep, but the man who runs Lottie's horse ranch despises her and wants her gone. Red Fox Ranch has been home to Lucas
Iron. Put it in a cereal bowl. Eat it up.
Right? Lucas Iron Eyes has lived at this ranch since he was 16 years old. He's lived by 3 rules to keep himself out of trouble. Preserve the culture, respect the horses, and stick to himself. When he's tasked with picking up Lottie's granddaughter at the bus station, the last person he expected to see is Avery Fox. Lucas can't stand what she represents, but when he's forced to work with her on the ranch, he can't get her out of his sight or his head. He reminds himself to keep to his rules, especially after he finds out the ranch is under threat of being shut down.
The chorus.
Right? It's clear that Avery doesn't belong here, but they form a tentative truce, and Avery will help raise funds to save the ranch. In exchange, Lucas will show her what it really means to be an Indian. It's purely transactional. Absolutely no horsing around. But what's the fun in that? Doesn't that sound amazing?
I 100% reckon I'll read it.
Yes.
Couple things.
Okay.
There's a character named Lottie. I'm here for that. If that is not the most Oklahoma name.
That is a good one.
A little Lottie on a ranch. Mm-hmm. Some horses.
Mm-hmm.
I love that she's from like Muskogee, which is not small town Oklahoma, but it's not big city either. Yeah. It's like a mix. Yeah. And like a mixture, like that small, little bit bigger city.
So it's funny you say that because I like paged through my copy that I just got, and it says in there from Broken Arrow, and they're like, Broken Arrow isn't that big of a town, and I'm like, what do you mean it's not that big of a town? Maybe in comparison to Tulsa, but it's a suburb of Tulsa.
It's a suburb. I mean, I guess it'd be like, sorry for you non-Oklahomans, but like saying like, I mean, Yukon's not a big town.
But I guess I wouldn't consider Yukon a small town, though.
That's true.
I wouldn't consider Broken Arrow a small town.
I wouldn't either. When I hear Broken Arrow, I just think Tulsa.
Yeah. So I thought that was funny. That was like, funny. Broken Arrow is such a small town. I don't think the ranch is in Broken Arrow. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. I'm excited to read it and get into it.
I am excited to read it.
But
I think I'm going to bump that one up.
I love that her books are like set in Oklahoma. And I love all of the like indigenous part of it, all that it explores. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like this one is going to have a lot to do with identity because she hasn't been raised with a lot of that as like her cultural heritage. Mm-hmm. Like she isn't as familiar with what it means to be an Indian, like the blurb said. So not only is she going to find romance, but she's also going to be like connecting with her identity in a different way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Obviously, Which, I mean, this is not a judgment statement because Summer and I both are here for it. It sounds a little Hallmarky.
I know.
The ranch.
The ranch is in trouble.
And of course, like, I mean, I feel like this is an obvious spoiler. Like, she's obviously going to, like, do a concert or something to save this ranch.
Oh, I hope so. I
She's
don't know.
She's a musician, right?
But I don't know because she's a musician, like, in disgrace.
Oh, so maybe this is what restores her.
Maybe. I am always here. You know what I love? I love a cowboy romance.
You do love a cowboy romance.
Romances. Give me an Elsie Silver. Give me a Lyla Sage. Now give me a Danica Nava. I want a cowboy romance.
I'm very excited that I have not heard of her before until the hype about this book coming up. And I'm really excited to have like an Indigenous author like that's becoming a little bit mainstream in this genre. I think that's going to be really cool.
So she's a really interesting follow on social media because she talks a lot about the like behind the scenes stuff of what it's like publishing, especially as a non-white author. Like she talks a lot about the discrepancies in like a white centered cowboy romance and her like Indigenous centered cowboy romance and how like cowboy romance is a huge thing right now.
Yeah.
Like it is in a renaissance.
Yeah.
But she talks about, as this book has been about to release, the Barnes and Nobles and how many they're ordering of her books prior to release. And it's like one store ordered 1 copy. Another store ordered 3 copies for her release at like a local bookstore, Barnes and Noble, that she does author events at. And
of course, though, like that's terrible.
Or she went in to like sign her books and they weren't shelved with the other cowboy romances, like on a display. So it's...
And is it in Oklahoma?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't think she lives in Oklahoma. And that is a little bit more corporate than an indie. I mean, an indie bookstore might be a little bit more tuned into that. I don't know what all regulations there are. Barnes & Noble versus like an indie where it's locally
I'm gonna
owned.
look up where she lives currently because I don't know now.
Yeah. So it is really interesting to follow her and see like from her perspective what it looks like publishing when...
She's Chickasaw Nation. Just throwing that out there. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
And so I recommend following her and also reading her and supporting her because we want more diverse voices in publishing, in romance, in everything. So I'm excited to pick up Love is a War Song by Danica Nava. What are you looking to pick up?
Okay, so talking about cowboy romance.
What?
I'm gonna do it. The Done and Dusted.
Oh my gosh, Beccah.
Yes, I'm gonna do it. I know nothing about these books other than their cowboy romances.
Yes.
And for some reason, that doesn't do it for me as much as it does for you.
Have you read any?
No, I haven't. And see, that's the thing. So maybe it will.
Maybe it will.
All right. So Done and Dusted.
Yes.
That is Lyla Sage, which is a great name. Is that her real name?
It's a real name.
Is that her real name? Okay. That's
I mean, I think so. I think it's her real name. She's also a great follow on social media.
So she's off limits. This is the blurb. But she's never been good at following the rules. Oh. I was about to say it like me, but no, I'm a rule follower. For the first time in her life, Clementine, Emmy Ryder, has no idea what she's doing. She's accomplished everything on her to-do list. She left her small hometown at Meadowlark, Wyoming, went to college and made a career for herself by doing her favorite thing, riding horses. This is so country already, okay? But after an accident makes it impossible for her to get back into the saddle. She has no choice but to return to the hometown she always wanted to escape. Luke Brooks is Meadowlark's most notorious bad boy, bar owner, and bachelor. He's also the unofficial 5th member of the Ryder family. As Emmy's older brother's best friend, Luke spent most of his childhood antagonizing her. It's been years since he's seen her, but when she walks into his bar and back into his life, he can't take his eyes off of her. Okay, I mean, I'm already kind of in. Let's be honest. Despite his better judgment, he wants to do a whole lot more than just look at her. Emmy's got too much on her mind to think about romance, and Luke knows he should stay away from his best friend's younger sister. But what if Luke is just what Emmy needs to get her spark back? Or will they both go up in flames?
So I have read this.
I'm excited.
Loved it. Tell me more.
Okay, let me tell you my hesitancies.
Okay.
I have a fear that he is going to be the type of like male character that's going to get on my nerves in intimate scenes. I feel like it's going to be like really like rough, dirty talk.
I think that is a fair concern to have.
It's not a concern. Like, I don't care, but sometimes it just like makes me roll my eyes a little bit.
Sure.
I assume it's going to be very steamy. And so I just like that type of character. But maybe it will fit because he is like supposed to be rough and like cowboy.
I think you will like their dynamic together as a couple because there is that underlying, like, she had an accident and there's like internal conflict of like, is she ever going to get on the horse and ride again? Oh my gosh. Which he helps with
I
that
bet you
too.
she does. I bet you she gets back on that horse.
But like their dynamic as a couple is really fun because of how he helps her with her fear around like the horses and the riding and all of that.
It's supposed to be a family-friendly show.
I do think there is a fair amount of dirty talk though. And there is a scene with some whiskey that I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on.
Okay, well, maybe I will check back.
Bring it next week. Next episode.
Yeah. Well, if I don't think I'll finish it by next episode, but I'll bring it soon.
I love these books. I love them.
Okay. People do.
They're so sweet. They're like...
How many are there? 4?
4.
Are they interconnected? Like, do characters like overlap?
In this series?
In the series.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's all about the Ryder family for the most part. So Emmy, Clementine, Ryder.
Got it.
This is her book, and then there's a book for her brother, and then her other
brother.
I
feel like I'm actually going to know more about the books that I'm about to read because of this podcast, because normal Beccah would just pick this book up and start reading.
Because you
no clue.
Grab books and read them blind.
I do.
Like an animal.
Yes, I do.
I think I let them languish on my TBR for so long, and I go and I check in on them, and I'm like, oh yeah, what's this one about? I'll read that one later. What's this one about? So I know, this is what I'm looking for right now.
Sometimes if I know too much about it, I'm kind of like, do I still care?
Okay,
if that makes sense.
Interesting.
But I also don't mind spoilers. Like, you could tell me she dies at the end, and I'd be like, oh, okay.
And you'll still read it.
But if I knew too much about it where there wasn't anything to look forward to or not exciting, it's like a trailer that shows too much on a movie. And then you go watch the movie and you're like, I just saw all that on the trailer.
But you don't mind spoilers.
But I don't mind spoilers. So it is kind of a weird combo.
Yeah. I think I would enhance my reading experience by knowing less about the books that I read.
Maybe you should.
Maybe I should.
I reckon you should try it.
Oh, maybe this will be a challenge we can challenge each other to do somehow. I don't know.
I'll read the blurb. You tell me the blurb. Okay. For time's sake, let's move on.
Yes. That was a great little roundup.
That was. Now that we've got kind of a peek at what we were reading lately, we thought we would wrap up our first episode with something fun. Each episode, we're going to rotate through these little in segments that we're going to refer to as spotlight segments. What are some things that we might cover?
So in these rotating spotlight segments, we could do things like hot takes, trending titles. We could do more of a focus on book to screen adaptations, favorite indie bookstores, themed TBRs, listener recommendations. This is going to be
summer recommendations. Guys, she's a killer at it. So
this is going to be our area where we can explore different things in the bookish world.
Yeah. I love that. So, but for the first episode, we wanted to do a little bookish this or that with us for you guys to get to know us a little bit better.
So think of it like rapid fire round, like Beccah, fiction or nonfiction?
Fiction.
Okay.
What about you?
Generally fiction. Nonfiction has been creeping up on me.
You do read more than me. I do like it, but they just take me longer to read.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because there's not a story.
Do you read to escape?
I do read to escape.
Yeah, I usually do. So every year I set a goal for my reading. Last year, my goal was to read more nonfiction. And I ended up reading so much great nonfiction that the majority of my favorites of the year were nonfiction titles. And so now I really try to sprinkle that in because I think it's an
inspiring goal that I'll never make for myself.
That's fair. Everyone reads for their reasons. So
I do like it. It just, I have to really care about what it's about. Or someone like you has to recommend it to me because I know that if you're saying that I would like it, like I trust you in that. But as some random person, I was like, oh, have you read this like new? I'm like, yeah, no, not going to.
Not going to catch your eye.
Okay, mood reader or planner?
I used to be a planner. I used to, and then I feel like my reading life suffered because of it. Because I was like, I'm going to read this, and then I'm going to read this. And I was very strategic about when I put things on my library holds, and I had to read them when it came up. And then I ended up reading a lot of books that I didn't really care about in the moment. So lately, I've been more of a mood reader, and I've been enjoying my books more. What about you?
Probably mood reader. There are some books like I know I want to read, and so like I'll get them like on the plan, if that makes sense. Like I'll be like, okay, that one's next. Or we started going to like a lot of book clubs. So there's a little bit more planning, but for my like preferred reading palette, I'd say mood reader. And sometimes it's just, I look at the cover and I'm like, let's read it.
Yeah, because you know nothing else about it. You judge books by their cover.
I do.
Speaking of, paperback or hardcover?
That is so hard for me. I like both.
Yeah.
They both like serve a different purpose.
They
for
do.
me.
I agree.
I would say that I'm gonna say hardback.
Okay.
Because they last longer and like, but sometimes I want my book to look worn. Like I don't know. Like it really depends. Like sometimes I want my classics like in old, like torn up paperbacks.
Oh, I'm the opposite. I want like a hardcover, like esteemed classic.
Yeah, that's like I could see that. That's funny though. Like,
but like a romance, give me a paperback. I want to like leaf through, and
especially if it's like the bodice ripper romances. They
like
have to
a
be
mass market.
I love a good mass market paperback.
Really, that surprises me.
I think that they're now. Here's the thing: I don't read them all. I just love how they look. So there's a draw to me with paperback. I guess is what I'm trying to say by that. Like I will see those and I'm like, like just brings so much joy. But for my actual like home collection, I would probably default to hardcover.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
I don't know that I would pick a book in one way or the other. I think it's going to depend. Like if it's a series, what I started with. If I started with a hardback,
can't mix it.
Yes. If I start with a hardback, I'm not going to get the book 2 in a paperback. Like it's going to have. That's what bothers me. But if it's like a standalone, I know nothing about. I'll get it in either, and it won't really bother me either way.
So I agree with that. But definitely if I have one of the series, I bought the entire ACOTAR series and then she released Silver Flames. And so that I had to rebuy it, the whole series, because I needed the books to match.
You didn't just wait for the paperback to come out?
No, because I was like, I love them so much, I might as well just upgrade.
But now have a set in paperback and a set in hardcover?
I do. And now I'm also like starting to already get antsy about the potential new one and like, oh my gosh, like is it going to match the covers I have? Because she's recently done like a cover.
And that's a thing. That's a thing. You never know
so
if the series is going to match. Yeah.
Like,
okay.
I don't
Topic for another day.
Yeah. We'll go with that. Okay. One book at a time or 5 at once?
Okay. Lately, 2025 has been a weird year for my reading. I have been doing things so differently. I've been really slumpy. And so I think because of that, because of the mood reader of it all, I read like 5 books at once. Like if you look at my Goodreads at any time, there could be anywhere from like 3 to 7 books that I'm currently reading. And I am like still reading all of them. It's just going to be what's calling to me in the like
that day,
moment that I have to read.
That's definitely, I'm a multiple books at once, but I wasn't always.
I wasn't always either.
I do think that is a great way if you're wanting to like get more reading in.
Yes.
Like have something on like a Kindle or your iPhone that you can. I love that I just assumed everyone had iPhones. Sorry, like your smartphone. Like have something that's always in your hand or your purse, and then have something at home. Like I have like a nightstand, like a night book. It's like on my nightstand. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I like to read in the evening, but it's not always what I'll pick up in the middle of the day.
No, that's fair. I do think once I started reading in multiple formats at once, so again, multiple books at once, I like doubled how many books I read.
Yeah.
Which isn't necessarily my goal is to read as many books as possible, but it gave me the flexibility of like when I'm in my car, I can listen to an audiobook. Yeah. When I'm sitting on the couch, I can read this. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know how you get all your audiobooks in and like reading on the couch and your podcast. Like it's so much. And I'm so proud of you.
I live alone.
You have 3 fur babies.
But they don't talk to me the way your children talk to me.
That is true. Okay. Are you an annotator or pristine pages?
I don't care too much about my pages being pristine. I don't typically annotate because I do so much like multiple formats. I'm not always reading like a paper page that I want to highlight. If there is a book that I know is going to be like my soul book, I will have a copy so I can annotate and highlight and mark up all the pages and put all of my little flags so I can mark my favorite chapters. If it's like going to be one of my favorite books, I will annotate it. But other than that, I don't.
Yeah, I'm not a huge annotator either. Yeah. I think part of it is my self-diagnosed OCD that like if I were to write in it and if I were to like, it would be crooked or like I would accidentally smudge ink or something like that, it would overwhelm me. So here's a great example. Another reason I justified my purchase of the hardbacks of the ACOTAR series was because I was like, I'm going to annotate these books because I thought it was cute and everyone did it. And you like look at all these like Pinteresty like annotators and I was like, I can do that. And I went in and highlighted and like wrote all these notes and I hate that book. Like I like looked through it and I'm like, I ruined it because I used too dark of a highlighter and I like have never opened that book again.
Oh no.
Because it's like I overdid it and then it like wasn't aesthetic and it was hard to read and like I don't know. It's like I think I kind of burned myself on it.
It wasn't perfect enough. I will say I have heard things because it bothers me too. Like I'm very generous with my highlighting when I annotate. I'll highlight an entire paragraph, an entire page because I'm like, yes, it speaks to me. I've heard if you use like rounded tip highlighters instead of the angled tip highlighters, it's not quite as like finicky because I'm like, oh no, that line is not as even as the next line. And that will bother me. It doesn't stop me, but I will notice it. So I want to get more of like some of those tips of how to annotate and it being a little bit easier.
Maybe I'll
on the
do
eye.
it in my like paperback of ACOTAR. So if I mess it up, it's okay because I have.
No, do it in the one that you've already started. Because if you mess up the first book of ACOTAR in your paperback, then your first book in both hardcover and
No,
paperback.
it was the paperback that I ruined.
Oh, okay. Then continue.
Also, if it is nonfiction, I will annotate all day.
Yeah.
It's fiction for some reason. So it has to be really powerful.
That, I feel that because when it's nonfiction, I feel like that academic in me comes out.
Yes.
And I
100%.
love highlighting and marking and like note taking. When it's fiction, I have a harder time. Maybe we should do a deep dive on annotation because
we are.
There's a lot to dig into here. Cover by or review based decision.
Well, I think we know my answer. I will say I do both. Like if I hear great reviews or like great people like recommending it a lot, like I'm like, okay, I've got to read that. But if it's a cute cover, like I might be in. I really like the aesthetic of the right book. If that makes sense. And like if I see it, I'm like, ooh, I want that book because of the aesthetic it's giving. So,
I think more often the reason I pick up a book is because I've heard other people review it or talk about it, not so much because of the cover. And I will say a lot of times that can steer me wrong because there have been so many times, even recently, that I've read a book.
It's never steered me wrong just picking from a just kidding.
I feel like I will avoid, a lot of times I avoid books because I've heard negative reviews and then I pick it up and I'm like, wow, this is delightful. So I think in like the internet world, there may be more like tend towards more negative reviews. Yeah,
everyone has such bold opinions, not us.
Yeah, and so I'll avoid things and then later be sad that I avoided it for so long.
Yeah. Okay.
Finish every book or DNF when it's not working.
Okay, I'm a finish every book type person.
I am too, and I wish I wasn't.
I know. For me to DNF, it has to be like I'm completely miserable reading it.
Yeah.
And even then, it will stay on my Goodreads, like current reading.
I know how to fix that.
Well, no, it's like I feel like I can't take it off because then I feel like I failed.
Oh.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It makes me like, I don't know if it's that deep, but there's this thought of like, well, I might come back to it. I'm probably not. I DNF'd it for a reason.
So a lot of times I will start reading a book and then something else will draw me. And so I'm like, I'm not going to finish this right now, but at some point I will come back to it. And I don't consider that a DNF.
Yeah.
Even if it takes me months to go back to it.
Yeah, I don't consider that a DNF.
But I did.
By the way, DNF is did not finish. I assume if you're listening to this podcast, you probably know that, but just in case.
I did create a separate shelf on Goodreads that is a DNF shelf. You have to do it in the browser, not in the app.
Interesting. Okay.
That way it will disappear from your other shelves. Because prior I was trying to like take it off my current reading, but it would still be in my TBR. I'm like, I'm not going to go back to it. So I do have a Goodreads shelf for DNFs.
It has
2 books on it because I never DNF.
I know.
So if I DNF, it's like with prejudice.
The people who do that, I like, it feels so liberating. Yeah. And I'm like, I can't. I've also got to though, because sometimes for me, it's like, I have to like complete something. And if I don't, I feel like it's not necessarily like I feel like I'm a failure. Like, it's not that, but I don't really know what it is. But sometimes I won't actually mark that I'm reading it on Goodreads until I'm a really good portion into it.
I do the same thing.
Okay, like, is this a thing? Because it's like,
Maybe
I don't
it's
want
an
people,
us thing.
maybe. I'm like, because I don't want people to know that I read that book and then didn't end up reading it.
Yeah.
Not like it's like a shame, but I'm just like, what if I don't like it? So I have to like know I like it and I'm going to finish it before I put it on Goodreads.
If I'm willy-nilly, and sometimes I get willy-nilly, often I regret it. I took a book to our book club in December, and I was like, I'm going to start reading this book tonight. I read a chapter, put it on my currently reading, haven't touched it since December.
Yeah,
and every time I see it, like my eye twitches a little bit.
Put that word in the DNF. You can bring it back over if you choose to.
But I am going to. It's not like I'm never going to pick it up again. That's
I'm
like
pretty sure
I'm
the
offended.
Heart of Darkness has been on my currently reading on Goodreads.
Heart of Darkness?
Yeah.
By Kipling? DNF it.
Okay, so
sorry, I'm offended.
I have never been able to make it through this stupid book. It's also like so offensive to read as a modern reader. I feel like that's
the correct literary opinion is to DNF it.
But I, for some reason, feel like it's a book as like a literary person and like an English professor that I should read this book. It has been on my like Goodreads currently reading for years.
DNF it. I give you permission.
Okay, thank you. I needed that.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we answered this one. Spoiler friendly or spoiler free? I'm spoiler friendly. You can tell me all the details.
I do not want to know.
I know. I sometimes accidentally spoil things for Summer, and
yes, and it bothers me. There are books to this day that I have not finished. If someone spoils something for me, I will never read that book out of spite. So,
and you were judging me for not wanting to read the hype read.
Well, okay. I guess we all have our things, and I will stop being judgmental of you, Beccah.
Just kidding.
Okay, so I have a cousin who, when we were in high school, I believe, we were reading the Divergent book series.
Oh, yeah.
And she told me how those books ended. Mm-hmm. And I was so mad. Yes, at the ending. I didn't read it, so I wouldn't super know. I was like, that doesn't sound like an ending I would like. Mm-hmm. But I was so mad that she told me about it.
Yeah.
That to this day, I didn't finish the books. I didn't finish the movies. I was like, nope, I'm never going to look at these books or talk about these books, which I'm talking about them now. But I'm never again.
Yeah. Okay, so spoilers don't bother me, mainly because I think of like my highly emotional state that I live in quite often, that if there particularly is going to be someone that's going to die, I need to know. Because I cannot get that emotionally invested in that character. Or like I can still invest in them and love them, but I need to know that they're going to die.
I guess, is that a spoiler or is that a trigger warning?
It's kind of like
both.
Both. But it's not even always death. Like it could be like if you know I'm going to root for a character and that person's going to come out bad or that person's going to like not get with the other person. Like I need to know those things. Okay, and I think because I emotionally get so invested.
Yeah. I do want to know trigger warnings. Because there are things that if they happen will really like affect me and affect the way that I think about a book. Or like animal death. I won't read a book with animal death. Like a pet.
Really?
Like, does the dog die? I have been so traumatized by books before, by movies before.
Oh, so you're okay if like the actual person dies, but not the animal.
Correct.
Got it. Okay. Things to know about Summer. See, these are the moments where she says something shocking. I'm just kidding. A pet death in a book can wreck.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, I get that. Okay, so we just did a few of the this or that. We don't have time on this podcast to cover all of them, but we hope you enjoyed the first half. And on episode 2, we will finish that.
We've done a lot of book talk.
We've done a lot of book talk.
I hope the listeners now feel like they know us a little bit better.
Yes.
Maybe they've added some recommendations to their TBR. If you have strong opinions about any of the books that we talked about today, or you want to gush about books that you love, please look for us on social media.
Yes.
DM us. We want to know. We want to be in
Don't
conversation.
DNF us, okay?
Don't DNF us. DM us. We want to be in conversation with you about books.
Yes.
That's our favorite thing.
If you're in Oklahoma City, 100% reach out to us. We would love to.
Let's meet up.
We would meet up anytime.
Come to our book club.
We have a book club. We are always at the local bookstores. So
you can find us on social media at
on Instagram at I Reckon I'll Read It. Yes. And please share us with your friends.
Yes. Leave us a review and rating on whatever medium you're listening to this podcast on. That will help us to grow and to continue to find more bookish people to talk to.
Yes. And listen, we're a nice community. So if you're going to say mean things about us, just go ahead and give us a spoiler ahead at the beginning of the review. Be like, okay, listen, spoiler, I didn't like it. And then Summer won't read it. Okay.
This was so fun.
Okay. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think we've talked a lot and we're going to cut and run. See you guys next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Dun, dun, dun.
We need some country music right there.
Or just like a whip sound.
Love it. Okay.